Here we are on day 12 in London, Fulham, at a place called ProFeet, where I'm going to be working with a guy called Gary Ward and Hamish Wolfenden for the day. They're going to be looking at my feet, my footwear, and the effect that the organisation of my feet has on the rest of my body. I've got with me a cross-section of most of the type of footwear that I'll be wearing during training. So I've got my hard ground boots, soft ground boots, AstroTurf trainers that I will wear in the gym, and we're going to look at which of these are best suited to my type of foot, and also what type of modifications we can make to them so that they optimise my performance, decrease risk of injury.
It's really unstable and really kind of driven through the big toe.
Yeah. But all the weight's taken on the inside of the foot there, so we're going to need to shift that. And also hips are just really strong. So my name's Gary Ward, and I run courses for personal trainers and body therapists called Anatomy in Motion, which is all about the study of how the body moves when it's upright as opposed to laying down on a couch. So we're really working with communication through the foot and into the rest of the body, and looking for specific patterns that we want to see and trying to replace that through 3D motion exercise. The more athletic a person is, we can assume they've got a better function of joint motion than somebody else. But even athletes, again in my experience, can be improved exponentially through this kind of work.
It's contracted out like that, and then sometimes I just relax, and then my foot completely overpronates, you know. Right. So I can't decide what it wants to do.
It's really unstable on the right side. Arton's been my nemesis for about 6 months, so it's been really good to actually get him in the test centre and look at how his foot is moving and how it operates on the treadmill, how it operates on the flat. And all of his problems stem from this lack of awareness of how the foot should interact with the ground and really come off that, which is where he gets his power from. And then football's a really tricky left, right, centre, as Hamish was saying earlier. Just in order to communicate all the time to the rest of his body, his foot needs to be aware of what it's supposed to do in this position, that position, in a shuffle, and you step over and turn in a corner. But there's also like your foot. There isn't really a mechanism of actually getting through the foot. It's really just a kind of foot just comes flat.
Yeah.
The stride length's quite short.
Yeah.
Which again, it talks about hip and glute function and marry nicely together to create the length and stride. But what we try to do is we look at the movement that the foot undertakes through various phases in the gait cycle. So we look at 8 different points that his foot is working in each step he takes, and we look at the joint and the motion in the rest of the body through the hips, the knees, the lower back, shoulders even, and marrying those up so that the brain recognises at each point as the foot's in contact with the ground and rolling through, is the rest of the body knows what it should be doing to create an efficiency. And once the efficiency is recognised by the brain, it tends to keep that system moving. So we've got a lot of experience working with people with pain and injuries, and again, once the body is aware of how its centre of mass operates and how it can conserve energy, the pain just disappears. So we get a lot of results like that within 1 session, 2 sessions, as opposed to 1 month, 2 months. And so it's the same thing with Arton. We're just looking to create efficiency in his body through the communication with the foot on the ground and the rest of his body's recognition of that pattern. exercises
Yeah.
before I it, and then
Yep.
marry them up.
Yep.
Just want to get those
You happy for me to?
obvious flaws.
Cool. So my name's Hamish and I've studied biomechanics and biomechanics specialist and specialise in the foot and human movement. I've been involved in that for about 20 years and I'm still doing ongoing research into sort of the latest in biomechanics and especially the windlass mechanism, which is a key function of the foot and how that affects human movement, and I've based my business around that. So.
Yeah, so basically we've transformed Arton's gait from leg axis this way to foot axis that way, and the gap shows significant torsion. And then we go over here when we've done all the work with the exercises and then the right shoe and insole to foot axis meeting leg axis, so we know that everything's tracking in the right plane, which is this way.
Well, I think the key thing with biomechanics is that it gives almost an outside view of how the human body is interacting with the environment and also internal forces. So I think in terms of performance and comfort, it's absolutely key. It's a really important part of the chemistry, if you like, in an athlete's growth and training.
So the more you're able to wind your foot up and it come back really quickly, then your performance will just go through the roof.
Right.
And the guys out there who probably move more quickly than anybody else will have a foot that can pivot through the middle of the foot like this. Because we know from your scan you're pivoting off the inside. And so every time you're wanting to move, you're not getting it from the foot, so you have to try and jam it up somewhere else.
And that's something I can improve.
I think the thing that we know about the human body is that the human body knows internally what its optimum performance output is going to be. And I think it also knows structurally where the best position the foot and the human body needs to be in. And it's a process of educating the human body. And I think over time it's definitely able to make some really good gains purely by just teaching the body how to move better and becoming much more aware of where the feet are at a given time, and then going through a sort of a developmental process in terms of training the feet to function differently. And it's like anything, we're able to learn to read a book, read and write, we're able to learn how to move the human body differently.
You're kind of disadvantaged because you're
So it's going to feel a bit weird under that part of the foot. Yeah, you feel like you're lumped just under
Yeah,
here.
No, I think it's totally feasible. Yeah, I think every human being is actually made pretty much perfect. It's just we lose that ability somewhere along the way, and I think using the mind and the human body and is able to perform at that high level. I think it's definitely possible to train to do that for sure.